Salute, this is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. Join us today as we talk about the art of disagreement. The art of disagreement. The art, there is an art, there is a way to deal with disagreements. Who's taught you how to deal with disagreements? Did you learn by getting beat up on side, getting beat up inside of your head, or how did you learn to deal with disagreements? Did all you see growing up was fighting and fussing and people pulling guns on it? What's going on, brother? Good to see you, Yahoo. Who taught you how to deal with disagreements? And I'm going to give a bonus today. One of the main reason why disagreements last so long. Who's taught you how to deal with disagreements? Don't think you're going to come in this world and think that everybody's going to agree with you. That's not, if you want that, you in the fairy tale Disney world. I don't care where you at. Disney World, we always say Disney World, but you in some kind of small world after all. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Your mama, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your child, everybody's not going to agree with you. So let's talk about that today. The art of disagreement. It is a tool that every man needs to have. They must be effective in disagreeing, and I didn't say roasting. Let me say that again. A man must be effective in what? Disagreeing and not roasting. Roasting is entertaining, but disagreeing effectively is strategic. As I always say, game is everywhere. It is not predicated to just getting women like most people think, or you try to manipulate somebody. But disagreeing is a tool that you can have in your arsenal as a man and as anyone else who's listening that will make you so dangerous that most people wouldn't know how to deal with you because you know how to disagree strategically. But who's taught you how to disagree? Who's taught you how to counter someone's thought pattern that may be different from yours? Who's taught you how to deal with that? Where did you learn that? Or did you learn in the streets where you had to come into a disagreement and it led to hands being thrown? Or did you have to deal with it where you didn't agree with your mother or your father and now you out the house, or you ran out the house because you didn't know how to deal with a disagreement? Or maybe it was at school and you got kicked out of school and you realized that, I'm a little dark, I'm gonna lighten this up. You realize that the disagreement that you were dealing at school, you didn't know how to handle it with the teacher, even though you were right on what you were saying, but you didn't handle the disagreement. Who's taught you how to do it? And most time people's answer has been life has taught them about disagreements. Life has taught them about disagreements. Instead of being taught strategically how to deal with disagreement. What's going on, Fear Soul? Jay Moss, what's going on? Who's taught you how to deal with disagreements? Who's taught you how to deal with a disagreement, men, with a female? Many times guys deal with disagreements with the female and they get emotional instead of standing there logical. Who's taught you how to deal with disagreements? I have a question today. Who's taught you how to deal with disagreements? And I'm here to tell you, a lot of men and a lot of people have not been taught to deal with disagreements. Hence the problem we see on these YouTube streets. I don't expect everyone to agree with me or to side with me, but I understand there's a way to disagree where we are not disjoint, but that we can move forward as a unit. I promise you, this is skill sets of real. This is real, like Kay Zagan. This is skill set of masculinity. Shout out to Kay Zagan. Skill set of masculinity. What happens is who's taught you how to effectively disagree to, even though you two may disagree, you're able to move forward in what you need to do? Who's taught you that? And I'm here to tell you, many times we have all failed when it comes to a disagreement. We got frustrated, we got upset, and we got mad, we got in our emotions. Who's taught you how to effectively? Let me say this. We got into disagreements about the Bible, about the Quran, about the Torah. We got into disagreements about what? I teach guys in the Fresh and Fit Discord, don't confront, redirect. This is how real debates work. Come on. But who's taught you how to effectively disagree? This is the fallacy that I got to get everybody on the same page with. Don't think everyone, this is the thing's going to help you in any disagreement. Don't think everyone's going to agree with you when it comes to disagreement. I was so immature when I was young. Definitely was the guy to take my ball and go home. What's going on? What's going on, Joe Blaz? My boy Sigma, what's good to see you, man? Viking Paradigm. Most people have not been taught effectively how to disagree. So you got to get this one thing. And then next thing we talked about on Monday is we allow our emotions to get the best of us. And for us men, we allow our egos, EGO, to get in the way. And that's why a disagreement lasts longer than what it needs to be. I'm at the point in my life, I'm not going to debate you about the Bible, not going to debate you about the scriptures. I'm not going to debate you about whether men go across seas. I don't have time to do that debate. That's why I put this saying by one of my favorite historians. He says, I only debate with my equals, and all others I teach. I only debate with my equals, and all others I teach. Some things are not even worth debating about. So I only debate with my equals, and all others I teach. Some things are not even worth your attention. So let's get to some strategic things that we can do with debating. Well, we're not debating, we're with disagreeing. Disagreeing is actually healthy. I said on Monday, disagreeing is a gift from God. Yep. See, thank you. Let me say this again. Disagreeing is a gift from God. So happy you're talking about this today. So many men lack this skill set. Yeah, they lack it today because they don't know how to effectively disagree. And let me poke the bear. The reason why a lot of men don't know how to disagree because they learn how to disagree from their mama and not from their father. The reason why a lot of men do not know how to effectively know how to disagree because they learn how to disagree like their mother. That's too much for some people. They learn how to disagree from their mother. They've seen how their mother disagree, and as a child, we emulate what is the authority in our lives and say, oh, this is how you disagree. So they take that same skill set that they learned from their mother on how to disagree, and now they deal with everyone else on when it comes to the disagreement. Hence why we had the different situations that happen here in the United States of America. Because no one's taught you how to effectively disagree or how to de-escalate a situation that is a disagreement. This is real game. That's just plain and simple. So people get on platforms and don't know how to handle disagreements. People get on platforms and got a voice and they don't know how to handle disagreements. There's a difference from having a disagreement and addressing something versus taking it to the next level and you're trying to clout chase. Shout out to AV, Alpha Villains, for that awesome show he did today. Thank you. Real life, no games here. Right. I don't understand why you say, why are we talking about this, LDA? Because at some point in your life, you're going to deal with a disagreement. At the job, your wife, your kids, the dog don't want to agree with you to go out because he need to go out. There's going to be some kind of disagreement. And you got to be able, as a man first, and I'm talking to the men and the women, how to stand on your square and say, hey, I am not going to be moved by my emotions. I'm not going to allow my ego to get in the way, and I'm going to disagree the ideologies and not make personal attacks at the person or do, as we all know, the word is ad hominems. But there's one reason why disagreements last on and destroy families and destroy people and destroy relationships. It is because, I'll tell you soon, disagreements, like I said, it's a gift from God. Do you think me and Alfie agree on everything? No. Do you think we agree on the same type of game or how we do things? No. Do you think me and John agree on the same things? No. But one thing I learned to do is my disagreements doesn't stop my relationship with that individual. Leaders redirect and keep it moving. Followers stop to argue, endless, and fight. Come on. Thank you so much right there. But let me throw another monkey wrench in here. Some men, oh, Blackjack, let me know you want me to say this, man. Let me spell it out for you. And homonyms. Blackjack, let me know you want me to say this in this chat room, because some men got this problem too. I'm waiting for when Blackjack say, hey, tell it, I'm going to tell it. Let me know, Blackjack, you want me to say this, especially with some men got this terrible problem right here. Waiting for Blackjack to say it. Once he said, give me the go, I'm going with it. Uh-oh, soup it up. It's all right. Some men, because they have not been taught to deal with disagreements, they never deal with conflict. They never learn how to have a disagreement with their woman because they're afraid of conflict and they're afraid that they're going to lose the kitty cat. Let me say that again. Some men are afraid to have a disagreement because the threat of a conflict or standing on their square and speaking their truth, that it will mess up anything that they say they wanted to have. So some men run away from disagreements. They will agree with everything everybody says. And down the spiral they go. Come on. I know what I'm talking about. I'm promise you. I've watched it. I've done it in the past. When you don't speak up and you're afraid to say it because you're afraid if you say what you need to say, you feel that if you say this, you know it's going to be a disagreement and you don't know how to handle it. So you just say, I ain't going to say nothing. Forget that. I ain't going to say nothing. But you know it's burning you up inside. If you're scared to speak to your woman, you would never stand up against a mango. I'm a man, right? I promise you. And the woman, let me say this, a woman knows sometimes pokes the bear so she can, y'all better catch this game. Sometimes the woman does poke the bear, you the bear, to get the disagreement. Why? Why? So that you can stand up and she can feel your masculinity. Not your hand, not so much an argument, but to feel that you have something that you stand for. And most men are in this day and age, especially, they end up never standing up for anything, and she end up running over everything. Let me say that again. Most men never stand up for anything, and then they end up taking over everything. The issue we see now in this culture in America is the lack of what men standing up and speaking their truth in the face of it being a disagreement to the masses. And when it happens is, guess what happens? People can't handle it. And you can't even speak to your woman. Come on. If you disagree, always try to point out strengths in the other. Always elevate them, even if you correct them. As so focus on the larger benefit versus your ego. Dude, you right on the money. I promise you. Thank you. Solutions right there. Most guys don't know how to do it because they've been taught to disagree from an emotional state and not a place of calm, relax. Hey, I don't agree with that. No, I don't see it that way. I see it this way. This is the other side of it. This is something to take away from this. Even in the disagreement, this is what we got to learn, especially us men. We have to respect the person's reason or the why they are disagreeing. We got to respect I disagree because of this. Cool. I understand why you disagree. That's why I keep saying the disagreements are a gift from God. You got to understand disagreements allow you to see where they're at and where y'all can move forward. So if your woman say, I disagree with what you said about that. Okay, why do you disagree about that? It's because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, this, and that. Oh, okay, I understand now. Disagreements, if done right, brings understanding, brings wisdom, brings you to a place of mutual agreeing to disagree. But the reality of it is most people get caught up in their emotions. And the other thing, like Kevin Samuel said, shout out to him, may he rest in peace, is this is the main reason why disagreements last so long. Can somebody tell me what the main reason why disagreements last so long? It is the need to be right. It is the need to be right. That is one of the main foundational things that keep a disagreement going. Is the need for you or them to be right. If you look at anything that's going on these YouTube streets, many times if you break it down and take the entertainment out of it, take the feelings out of it, it is the need for whatever person who's saying anything is to be right and not the truth. Not the facts, not the data, but it's the need for that person to be right because their ego or their reputation or what they're saying has to be what? In it. Meaningless salute. What's going on? What's going on, Alpha Kingdom? Meaningless wins to ultimately lose. Right. Meaningless wins to ultimately lose. It is the need to be right. It's the reason why a lot of times the disagreements on YouTube or in personal spaces with men and women is the need to be right. And you end up winning the fight but losing the war. And that's what a lot of people miss it when it comes to disagreements. I have to respect that you don't agree with that, but I have to also respect, you have to respect what I don't agree with. Now, can we keep on pushing? Now, if the ideologies are so different, guess what happens? We got to make a decision to go our separate ways. I don't want to be right. Blow my mind. I didn't want to be right. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. If you disagree, make sure you pass some value to the disagreement as well. Teaching, come on. Dude, you look at most of the stuff, I'm saying it, most of the disagreements between the men and women on YouTube or any place, or even on the men going back and forth with each other. It is at some point, someone says, I got to be right about this. What I'm saying is the right. It's the truth. Ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else. But in how you handle it is void of the truth, because the truth does not care about either side. It cares only about the truth. That's why I sit back and watch. Sometimes I laugh. I'm like, oh, okay. So if you constantly poking the bear, don't get mad when the bear comes and gets you. Disagreements are bound to happen. I'd say, like I said with Alfie, you think we agree with everything? We don't agree on everything, but we learn to say, hey, you know what? All right, whatever. Okay, you don't agree with that. Okay, boom, boom, boom. It was something that we didn't. It was a group of us. We didn't agree on something, and it took me about 3 years to finally come to the point to see what they were saying. Let me say that again. It was something me, Alfie, and Red Pill were debating about or going back and forth about. It took me about 3 years to finally come around and say, you know what, bro? I came and I meant, you know what? You guys are right. I see your point. But far as prior to that, I stood I don't agree with you. Why? Did it stop us from moving forward as brothers? No. Did it stop us from not going to Vegas? No. Did it stop us from going to meeting? No. But what it did was it was maturity amongst men. When we didn't agree, I told them I don't agree. Finally, make sure you have knowledge in the area you disagree with. Be open. That's the next thing. Thank you. That's the next thing. Sometimes our need to be right in a disagreement that we don't have an open mind. And it's hard sometimes for a brother when that don't have an open mind. Open mind. I don't mean you accept everything, but everything ain't, I'm just saying. If anything, every time you point, there was proven that you see. Okay. If anything, every time their point was proven, they said, see what I'm saying? Oh, dude, I don't like when people do that, boy. Like, see what I'm saying? So that's the power of the disagreement. You got to have an open mind. So what I've learned to do, and I'm going to share what I've learned to do, is let me listen objectively without being subjective. That means let me listen without any judgment. Let me listen to both sides and then make a decision whether I agree or disagree. Let me listen whether what you're saying versus that and see, does it match up, or do I have to agree with you? Most people don't take that time to do that in the heat of the moment because I got to prove that I'm right. I'm the man. And as we know, on the flip side, when you do this with some women, it's hard for them to do that because they're processing the disagreement through their emotions. It's like putting your clothes in the washer. They're going to put it through the washer, and the washer is their emotions, and for it to come out clean. But sometimes women get their emotion, they get their clothes stuck in the washer and never bring them out to dry. So it never comes to the place of logic. And this is not a bad thing. This is just a thing to understand how to navigate and move. Disagreements are a good thing. If you fighting disagreements, you ain't ready. You don't talk about you ready for game. Don't talk about you ready to move in life. Every place that you go, you will learn how to master disagreements and people not seeing things your way. Let me take something else. Joe Blast, let me know you want me to say this one. Joe Blast, let me know you want me to say this one. Joe Blast, you gotta let me know you want me to say this one. If you disagree with women, she needs to see the examples and results why you're right. Any other way, she won't accept it. Correct. Joe Blast, I'm waiting on you, brother. You my man. Let me know you want to hear this other side of the disagreement. Wait, no, Joe Blast. So give me that. Oh, not the hyena. The disagreement. There's another thing. If you use this is dangerous. I shouldn't be sharing this, but I'm waiting on Joe Blast to say, hey, man, go ahead and push the button. Or somebody say, push the button. Go ahead. Let me know. Put a 2 in the chat room. Let me know you want me to give this other side of disagreement. Let me know in the chat room. Give this other side of disagreement. There we go. Speak. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the other side, this is very sinister. So be very careful what I'm about to say. Sometimes you use disagreement. Sometimes you disagree, even though you agree with what they say, to see if they really believe what they say. Let me say that again. Sometimes you disagree intentionally to find out if they really believe and the reason why they believe what they do, to see where they stand. So you purposely disagree to see how they respond, how they react, and how they move. When you do that, even though you may agree with them 110%, but you being disagreeable lets you see who they really are and how they move. Oh boy, that's too deep. That's too deep. Not for everyone, LDA. I know. That's why there's only a couple people watching, and I'm about to end it in a second. So you intentionally set up the devil's advocate. You intentionally disagree. Get them down the road and they're explaining, and this is the reason why. Oh, this is the reason why I don't see this. This is the reason why I don't agree. And you watch. Oh, okay. And you said what? And you don't agree. Yeah, and that's the reason why. And all along, you let them take their little picnic basket and they're running down the road with their side and proving why you are wrong. Catch the word, proving to you their point, proving to you their point, and all the while you are agreeing with them. And what happens is you get to sit back and observe how this person moves in a disagreement. I am not saying to do this. This is only for the, like you said, that's too deep, it's not for everyone. But it's not to cause harm or to put someone down and nothing like that. But it's an effective way to find out where this person is at. Sometimes you end up finding out that the person is doing the same thing back to you because they never believed in what they were saying. One of the most effective ways you can do is ask a question. Why do you I don't agree with that, but why do you believe that? So that now they're in the place of proving their point to you, and now they have to give a reason for their conviction. If you watch any discussion, and if they cannot come, like J. Moss said, if they cannot come with logical reasoning for where they stand, then you come back and point them back to the truth. Ooh, boy, that's too much. This works with men, but with women, not necessarily a good idea. If you disagree with her and then she shows you she's correct, you will lose position. If it was something trivial, she can now think can convince you all the time, and she would try more often. To a degree, yes, I agree. With men it works, but also if you do it with women, with women you have to do it different way. Even if she thinks she's correct, because I know I got women watching. Let me get this. Ooh, boy, I got a couple of seconds. Even if she thinks she's correct, and you allow her to take her picnic basket down the road, you ready, ladies? You allow her to take her picnic basket down the road, you can always redirect her back to the truth. With women, it's like push, pull, teasing. Woo! Where are the ladies of TTC? Right? They quiet on this one. Deliver it with a smirk. And John the W. Right? Where everybody at? Right. Everybody quiet on this one. So it's a strategic move with disagreement. Even with women, you got to know how to use this effectively. I'm not saying just to be disagreeing. No. There has to be a reasoning why you're disagreeing. Human nature has not female or male nature. Human nature has to, on some point, if they believe something, has to somehow, on some level, try to prove that what they believe is correct. And some people will even fight for it. So it's a strategic thing to know when to do that. When I was younger, I used to debate out in the streets over stuff. I used to debate in the streets. I over here on Hayden, since everybody want to know, he probably making this up. No, Hayden, off of St. Clair, I used to debate in the streets. And what I had to learn to do is throw out something that I know that they wouldn't agree with. Like I said, to see where they were at. It is a strategic move that you got to know how to play correctly. You can't get in your emotions when it comes to this. You can't get into your emotion. If you get in your emotions, it's going to rob you of it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Dank. See? Boom. You caught that. You see, this was a disagreement, but didn't take away from Lauren's wisdom. We share and pass on knowledge. Intellectual people value each such exchange. Bam. He didn't go in the chat room and start doing like this. My homie, he didn't start doing like this. He didn't start. Did you see Jim? Did he do this? Man, share what I said, LDA. He didn't go in the chat room and start. I don't agree with you, LDA. You think you know that you always wearing a fedora hat. You think you doing that, man? You see what I'm saying? He didn't do that. We disagreed, agreeable. We exchanged wisdoms. Now I have to go back and look at what he said and digest it and say, hey, you know what? He may just be right what he's saying. Or it may be applicable to one woman and not to this woman. So he's right, but might be right for Susie, but for Carol, no, I better not do that. See, you got to think. It's about thinking. So it might be what he's saying is completely right for you dealing with Carol. I mean, for Susie Q, and Susie, you better not do that with Susie Q. But with Carol, you can do that. So you got to think strategically. How does this really apply to what? What's going on? Good stuff. He didn't do that. I'm telling you, I got to catch this. Is go back to the original mission of TTC, the thinking class, the men. Foundation. So you got to see, even in that, even in the exchange, I had to look and say, hey, let me not get into my emotions. Let him not get into emotions. No, let me think. This may see what happens on YouTube, on social media. We generalize everything and not realizing it may not apply to everyone. Everyone does not like jerk chicken like I do. Everyone doesn't like empanadas like I do when I go down to Miami. That's all I eat is empanadas. That's all I want is some chicken empanadas, and I'm good. I love empanadas. But everybody may not like that. But it doesn't take away from them because they don't like it. I hope you catch what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm putting down. That's why disagreements is that's why disagreements are so beautiful to look at. When you watch disagreements on YouTube with different content creators going against other different content creators, watch how it play out. Watch how it really takes place. Watch how it's going on. Step away because they're your favorite person, or you agree with them because they say something about it. Look at it objectively and not subjectively, and learn the lessons that they're teaching you. I'm saying about other content creators. I ain't even talking about me. Look how they handle it. Look how they deal with it. Look how the person responds. But also, too, with some disagreements, it's not even worth addressing. With some disagreements, it's not even worth addressing. It is better to be in the clouds and never address the disagreement. To come down from the clouds and deal with a disagreement puts you on the same playing field as them. Watch how they deal with it. Are they attacking the ideology, or are they attacking the validity and the what? The character of the other person. Woo! Also, one more thing needs to be established in disagreements. If you agree with the person or on the subject or idea, because in the first case, it is taken personal. Yep. Facts. You got to be able to do that. Able to say, Sometimes even if it's me, all right, I don't agree with that, LDA. Ooh, I'm like Jermaine Jackson. I don't take it personal. Easy come, easy go. But the thing of it is allow it to be a tool that you use effectively, and not to weaponize against someone, but you use it effectively to move forward in what you need to do. There might be something that you're negotiating that the agreement is not good for you and for you, but it's good for the other person. You got to know how to deal with that disagreement so that you can move forward. I promise you, this will cause your game, your whatever you doing, not game, just with women. Please, 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 please. If somebody else comes on these streets and say game is only about women, it's only about getting women and going to bed. That's not, you missed it. If you think, I got to say this, whether you people agree or not agree, game is not just about getting women and having sex and more sex and sex, sex, sex. I got this sex and sex, sex, sex. And y'all, game is not that. If you think game is just predicated to women, you already missed it. I know it sounds good, but game is just understanding human nature, female, male nature. It's just strategy. I promise you. That's why I'm giving this whole thing about disagreement, because disagreements come up in the game. Disagreements come up in the game. So in many cases, people have sit downs. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what a sit down is, where you iron out the disagreements between this party and that party. Let me say this, and I'm about to go on this, I'm at 7 minutes after. All disagreements don't have to be on the internet, on YouTube. All disagreements don't have to be on the internet. Sometimes it's just a phone call away. Yo, man, you know what? You said that, blah, 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 blah. Let me talk to you. Let me put something in your ear, man. Let me put this little in your ear. I don't agree with that. What you said, okay, cool. We don't agree with that. All right. I said this for years. Have a disagreement with your brother. Some things don't have to be aired out on YouTube, on Facebook, on this. And then some things need to be addressed to put it to bed. Some things need to be addressed and be put in bed. Thank you for the cash apps, the super chats, all that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hit the link, hit the cash app, hit the super chat. The super chats and the cash app. Thank you so much. This is Lawrence D. Adams, when spirituality and the game combines. This is a dissertation on how to effectively deal with what disagreements and homonyms. And we will be back Friday. Hit the cash app, hit the super chats. Thank you so much. We out of here.